Imagine a version of you 1 year from now getting offers from the largest modeling agencies in the world. I want you to picture what your life could look like if you committed 12 whole months to genuine, effective self-improvement. Picture you in 12 months with a sharper jawline, clearer skin, a better physique, lower body fat percentage, a stronger presence, and the confidence to know that when you walk in any room, heads will turn. Imagine the admiration you'd command, the respect you'd earn, the female attention you would receive, and the opportunities that would open up, all because you genuinely decided to make a commitment to yourself to be the best version of yourself possible. That might sound impossible, like a dream that is too far out of reach, but it's not, and I'm proof of that. 1 year ago, I was average by most physical standards, but within 12 months, I was signed to the largest modeling agency in Brazil. How? Not through luck or genetics, but deliberate effort and relentless self-improvement. Don't believe me? Well, the agency this year told me that my face was unbelievably rare, which is funny because I applied the year before and they said that I just didn't meet the standard, that I was just not what they were looking for. And that's multiple agencies, by the way. I couldn't get a modeling gig. I'm telling you that the same agency that told me I did not meet their minimum standards looked at me a year later and said my face was unbelievably rare. And no, that wasn't an accident. Today, I'm gonna break down my full transformation from the beginning. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did from mastering the fundamentals to unlocking advanced techniques that made this transformation a reality. I unintentionally started looks maxing at 13. I was very active and always had a clean diet. These weren't just casual choices either. I knew from day one these were going to be absolute non-negotiables for me. This discipline gave me clear skin, a lean physique, and a base of health that most people wrongly assume is just purely genetic. What I didn't realize back then is I was setting myself up for success in ways I couldn't yet understand. Through heavy weightlifting and consistent activity, I was accidentally applying Wolff's Law, which states that bones adapt and strengthen under mechanical stress. This began to lay the foundations for healthy development, which encouraged things like my deep set eyes, my high bone mass, and prominent brow ridge, all because I was unknowingly maximizing my bone density. Also, from the beginning, I understood the importance of shoulder to waist ratio in terms of bodily aesthetics. So I emphasized building wide shoulders. And this was actually a huge point. I don't have naturally wide clavicles. In fact, in some of my before pictures, you can actually see that my clavicles are the same size as my waist. That is a 1-to-1 ratio right there. As I got older and started researching further, I came across the OG Looks Maxers and their theories about craniofacial development. That is when I first learned about mewing, keeping the tongue pressed against the roof of your mouth to influence the jaw and palate and maxilla structure. This is what then led me deeper into the science of sutural pressure and understanding how consistent pressure can guide your skull while developing. So from there, I wasn't just mewing. I started incorporating nasal breathing exercise to begin to undo all of the damage caused by years of mouth breathing. Forward head posture was also always an issue, so I worked on corrective exercises to fix this and make my profile even more balanced. And then I understood the importance of training your masseters and how that can also guide your face in developing too. And training your masseters is such a significant part of looking good. I've mentioned before, Charles Darwin was actually one of the first people to clock onto this jaw shortening that was happening at a rate that was far faster than evolution. In The Descent of Man, he highlighted how dietary shifts influence physical features, including the human jaw. He observed, with mankind, the reduced size of jaws from less underuse, the diminished number of teeth, and the other changes in the skull are apparently related to civilization of several races. This underscores his belief that changes in the diets and shifting to softer foods have reduced the functional demands on the jaw. And modern studies echo Darwin's observations. A study from the University of Kent has shown that softer modern diets have influence on jaw bones, making them narrower and shorter, contributing to loads of orthodontic issues. Similarly, the Journal of Oral Biosciences found that softer diets decrease jawbone development, while harder diets maintain bone balance. Darwin also noted the greater development of jaws and teeth in savage races of man is undoubtedly due to the habitual use of great force in chewing coarse, uncooked food. The Descent of Man, Chapter 7. The research is clear, and there is over 200 years of evidence on this subject. And you still don't think what I teach is based on science? So, I made it a priority to absolutely challenge my jaw with tough foods all the time. As I improved my looks, I realized it's not just all about craniofacial structure. Expression control and things like charisma play a huge role in attractiveness. So, I started analyzing all of my favorite movie stars at the time, the actors that I thought had the highest female appeal. One of the main ones was Damon Salvatore. If you know, one of his key, most attractive, unique traits is how positively tilted his eyebrows are. So just through trial and error, figuring it out on my own, I learned how to mimic them. Now I have full independent eyebrow control and can make them positive whenever I want. I practiced for hours in the bathroom mirror, understanding how I could manipulate my own expression to convey different emotions. How could I appear more confident, more approachable, more magnetic? And this wasn't just some vain looks experiment. This was about understanding how I could project my presence. Fast forward to today, and I am still on a mission to continually self-improve, but this time while inspiring hundreds of thousands of you guys too, which I will be forever grateful for. So let's talk about the steps that you can begin to follow to completely transform your looks in 2025. Firstly, especially if you are still in your development years, you need to be focusing on hard pressure on your palate. Ideally, this should come from your tongue. It's the most consistent form of pressure you're going to find. You may have heard of thumb pulling, where people get their thumbs, put them inside their mouth and apply 24 times more pressure than their tongue. But my research has found that the spontaneity of that exercise and the lack of consistency it provides, unlike your tongue, makes it less effective. So if you understand mewing needs to be an extremely high priority for your craniofacial development, you need to make sure the muscles that allow you to mew are strong enough. These are your super hyoids. That is why NPR is such a powerful exercise. I have a tutorial dropped on NPR, but it is this one. You are opposing the resistance of your natural range of motion of your jaw, effectively targeting your super hyoids. Not only that, I would double down and do chin tucks too. I personally do chin tucks every time I do a back day, always at the end of the workout when I'm extremely warmed up, and I do it in around reps of 10 for about 5 sets. Also, I highly recommend that you optimize your gut health. Making sure that you are rid of toxins in your gut is highly important for skin health and hormonal health. The best way to go about this is have a clean, non-processed, organic diet that you stick to. Staying extremely hydrated, getting your meat from the butchers or a local farm, and having a load of fruit in your diet too. That is an extremely simplified way of exactly how to heal your gut microbiome. And do not neglect your charisma and communication. If you are in your developing years, you have a moral obligation to yourself to socialize. It is a skill that will propel you far in life, and as you get better at socializing, your future self will only thank you for it. Understanding the art of talking to people and being able to develop a connection with them while conveying authenticity and being genuine is a skill that will take you so much farther than you realize. Not to mention, if you are someone who is older and has had poor development from bad health, this is something that you can still implement to bring your attractiveness right up. I'm sure at some point in your life you have met someone who's only a 6 out of 10 on the look scale but magnetizes women with his charisma. It takes practice. It doesn't just happen. And I would highly recommend giving that as much attention as every physical aspect too. Contrary to what the looks magazine community thinks, half of it is up here. The better you look and carry yourself, the more your relationships, career, and social life will skyrocket. It makes a huge difference with how you're perceived in life, and I can say that having been on either side of the coin. And I want to remind you that you're not limited by your genetics. Your appearance, confidence, and presence are malleable. With the right habits, knowledge, and discipline, you can completely transform how you look and how the world perceives you. This isn't about vanity, this is about self-respect and the undeniable truth that when you invest in yourself, every aspect of your life improves. If you start today and genuinely go all in, you won't recognize yourself in a year. You won't believe the man looking back at you in the mirror. As you know, I have also created the best looks magazine community on the planet. The Stickly Method, link in the description. You'll get access to support from me, dozens of video modules that will help you out in depth, accountability systems, calls with me, and a great community. Also, in case you didn't know, I'm giving away $2.5 grand this month, the month of January, to the people with the best transformations. Competition closes on the 7th, so if you're watching this before the 7th, yes, you can sneak your way in there and still make some significant progress. And I will coach you how, of course. It is the start of 2025. This is the time to take action. Wishing everyone watching this peace and health and the best 2025. Much love, gang.